Does that need to be closer, or?
I think that should be fine.
I've lost my interest.
I wasn't in attendance, but are the minutes from the last meeting? March.
I sent them to Mary Beth. I have one copy printed out.
Okay. Okay. I have them.
Okay.
So they haven't been.
Sounds like a no.
No, I didn't even think to distribute those.
Okay.
I kind of thought they went out to everyone, so.
I
That's
didn't
okay.
have everyone's email.
Not your fault. Not your fault at all. No.
Okay.
So we can just do those next
We can do that
time?
next time.
Yeah.
Okay. So we had the budget update. Obviously, all good news.
Finally.
Mary Beth can breathe a little
can.
more, and appreciate the efforts of everyone in getting that pushed through. And
Speak of the devil.
Hi there.
Howdy.
we have issued a formal NTP.
We did, and today I pushed on to everybody. So Osama came back to me. I had dated it on Friday at noon, 12:07 or so. I sent it out, and then he came back today, and he wants it like reissued with today's date, or so I sent that.
Date came.
I sent that on to everybody. I don't know if any of you had a chance to see Nancy's response
Today?
today.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen it. I guess what was
Okay.
the response?
I mean, I certainly can read the whole letter, but
It summarized it.
okay.
I know the way Nancy writes.
Right. So, what's she saying here? And I just said we can discuss it tonight. Okay. It's our legal opinion that the suggestion the contractor is making is misreading of the contracted terms in the prior NTPs. The bottom line is, for each day after April 1st, 2024, until the date the owner has authorized the contractor to begin the full on-site demolition work at the site, necessary to begin full site on-site construction, and to begin full on-site construction with 395-day scheduled completion. And as such, the completion of the date of March 30th, 2025 will be extended for 1 day for each day after April 1st.
You struck out the words, the authorization to begin from that letter, that way it originally went out, which would indicate that if he's looking to redate the letter today, he wants to add those days in as additional days for performance.
So at the bottom here, she says, the contractor has 395 days from the date the notice issues in order to complete the work. Saturdays and Sundays are included as part of the 395-day schedule. As such, because the NTP issued shortly after noon on Friday, the Saturday and Sunday of the past weekend are to be counted as part of the 395 days. Overall, this is an issue. It's all about 3 days. I'll defer to you as how much of an issue you want to make of this. So she's thinking that no, we shouldn't extend it, but it's not that big of an issue for 3 days.
Right, he's looking for the NTP to be dated today.
Right. And of course, now
Versus
it's
Friday.
5 o'clock.
Honestly, I think it's a reasonable request, given it was noontime Friday,
It was noon.
that you gave them the green light. So I think, in my opinion, I would have made the same request.
Okay. So do I do it, well, today now, it's the end of the day, I think.
He asked for today, I reissue it for today.
Do it today.
Redo it when we get out of here. Okay?
Any other?
Do we need a vote on that?
No, I'm just looking for any. I'm the same opinion. It's it's a few days.
Everyone agree?
Yeah.
Agree?
Minimal.
Okay,
Yeah.
done. I'll
Sure,
do that when I go down before
Never
capital.
let your kids.
I think he showed pretty good.
Patience.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think 3 days is.
Yeah,
we're lucky we get out
At
of
this
it.
point, I don't think I'd want to antagonize him.
Nope.
Okay, that's great. We'll issue that and actually get something going, and he can sign all his contracts or do whatever he needs to do.
I'm just thrilled we're actually able to really move forward. Blame it all on Kevin.
Sure. I guess kind of maybe just a quick construction update.
Yeah, so Paige has been out there just trying to stay busy. Last week they brought the construction trailers in. They were doing a little bit of utility work. They did some water line work and started some sewer structures and pipe today from into the site. Unfortunately, they hit a unmarked water line and the electric pipe that served the existing building, some pumps, so they had to do some kind of emergency repairs on that, and they backfilled it, and it was kind of not the best day. They left a little bit, the grade a little bit low, so we just called them. We drove by, Kevin noticed it, and we called Peter to let him know we think it's a safety issue, and he's sending Pompeo out there to put some fence up and clean it up. So we should be all set for tomorrow. But I guess it was a lot. From what we understand, it was maybe a line that was just there was not enough information to pick it up on the dig safe or something. So I don't know. Just so everyone knows, this is Tom, our new clerk.
Hi, everybody.
So Tom started today. And just kind of getting Tom set up and trying to get the temporary facilities all set up on site and kind of establish some procedures with Paige and with ADS and as far as the soil management plan and GCI for the geotech, and we got them on board doing some testing of some soils, so we just basically checking sieve and getting Proctor analysis done so we can make sure we have the right products going in the ground. So I think they got a little bit ahead of the cart, a little bit ahead of the horse last week with not having an approved material on site, but we're just working through that. We have it located where it is, so we're just keeping track of it, and we know that those areas get redisturbed, and we have to do some additional testing in those areas, just potentially pull some stuff out and replace it with some the approved materials. But like I said, we're happy that the green light letter went through, and I think we'll see definitely more activity on site, and looking forward to it.
Just add for an editorial comment. The initial indications are that the soil conditions are very poor on the site. Shocking, right? The areas that they have excavated so far, 2 to 3 feet of unusable historical fill that's had to come out and now have to be replaced with gravel and proper pipe bedding and whatnot. When they were going, I think Scott said when they were going through the trench today, they found a tree.
No, that was last week.
Well, last week that was buried in a complete state.
What?
Yeah, an entire tree.
Still growing, or is it?
Oh no, it's
So
quite
it's so
dead.
bad it wouldn't decay.
When the bucket went down and picked it out, it picked a whole chunk of the trunk out with it. So I just want to make sure the committee understands that it seems like if this is any indication of what we're going to deal with, there's going to be a lot of earthwork related changes for every time they go into the site, and they're down below 2 to 3 feet, they're pulling out material that's unsuitable. It's going to get costly. It's going to get costly in a hurry. So I just want to make sure everybody's aware of it. We can always hope that once we get off the street and into areas that have previously been excavated and disturbed, maybe the conditions will improve. Maybe not. Time will tell, but we'll see.
I think we went into this knowing we had issues with the soil, and it's not gonna be a surprise.
Okay.
Can never be as bad as the whole list.
No, I don't wanna go from one problem to another.
I know.
As long as there's no bodies. Elliot, you can find
Oh,
that Elliot.
Jimmy Hoffa made it bad.
Not for the records, not for the minutes.
So we can,
Not in a minute.
creative ways of what we can do, you know?
Right.
And probably the disposal is the biggest part of it. If we bring in more gravel, yeah, it's cost, but not huge cost. It's cost gonna be.
Mount Whitman will continue to grow, right? So we just gotta kind of look at it holistically. We want to keep it on site as much as we possibly can. We know that that defers a tremendous liability for the town in terms of cost.
Well, so does Mount Whitman if we stir up the DEP.
I understand.
Yes.
Healthy balance, Frank, healthy balance.
Piles?
Yes.
And right now, the instructions that we have from ADS are to segregate the materials that we think will be reusable. We'll have them sort of stockpiled, and we'll take a sample and have it sieved and proctored to make sure that it meets the gradation requirements for the lowest quality of fill that we can possibly use. And then we'll have to supplement with gravel under the terms of the contract. So pretty standard, nothing earth-shattering, but just, to re-emphasize.
I have a question.
Yeah.
The only time we'll be going below, because all the buildings are gonna be on top of soil, there's no cellars, right? So the only time we'll be digging trenches is for piping, right? And sewage.
Correct?
And if we need to put, call it, cement plaids with,
Footings.
I'm trying to think.
So I think I know.
Precast footings.
I think I know where you.
Thank you.
I think I know where you're going.
Yeah,
You got to remember, we're using the existing foundation
Yeah.
in the light green aluminum building that's
Yeah.
to remain, right? So that foundation system is going to remain in full. We're putting an addition on either end of that building.
right, yeah,
Those foundations are, I believe, they're normal spread footings, assumed to be 4 foot deep for frost. And the pipe work that we've done so far, the water line has been 5 feet, and we're in 2 to 3 feet of unsuitable material. So we're expecting that we're going to get that, presumably, as we're working around the perimeter of the existing building. There's a reason why you put that building on caissons to begin with, not because it was the cheapest alternative, I can guarantee that. So what we're hoping for is that if we have to do some over excavation at the footings, we can, build it up with decent material, get to a suitable bearing, and come out of the ground with just some added gravel expenses for the footings. That's sort of best case scenario. But again, time will tell. We'll have to chase it, have to see how deep it goes. We don't ever want to recommend you build a building on poor soils because you're going to wind up with settlement issues and cracking, and not a pretty sight. So we'll see where we go from here.
Okay. Could we make, starting for the next committee meeting, I know you have like a running tally budget-wise that you're kind of keeping track of?
Yeah.
At least distributed,
Sure.
Yep. So.
Current budget.
Yeah, current budget, where we're at.
Yep.
Obviously as things come up, we'll add to it.
Yep.
Just so we see where we are contingency-wise and things like
Yeah.
that.
I thought, Kevin, that I sent that out when we circulated the last round of invoices. I thought that there was a budget update that went out shortly thereafter, but if that wasn't the case, we'll certainly have a handout available for the committee.
You could have.
I think I see here.
No, that's the requisition.
Oh, that's just the
Yeah.
okay.
I think
The separate email?
shortly after that came out, I took those invoices, entered them into the budget, and circulated a budget update.
Oh,
Should have been a separate email, probably only one page
okay.
attachment, but in the event that didn't go out,
I don't remember seeing it.
I know I did the budget update, but
And do we know, is there any inklings? I know he just got MTP technically today, but any inklings from him of
Oh,
any added costs? Not yet.
Nothing.
Hopefully not. Okay.
I see a budget update dated 4/3.
Yeah.
Would that be it?
Okay.
And it went to everybody.
That was the Whitman billing is what I have for 4/3.
Yeah.
That's the budget update.
Budget update.
I can't see it. There.
That's the idea, Frank.
Okay. As of March, it's already old. Couldn't resist it.
This is how it's going to be, huh?
Oh, please.
We can finally joke at this meeting that we're actually finally starting work. We can be a little. Okay. Any other questions or comments? Status?
That said, if there's more information that you'd like on the budget, just let us know what it is, and we'll give you as much or as little as pleases the committee.
I think what you have is pretty thorough. If, if we're looking for more, Mary Beth or Kevin can certainly reach out to you and ask for detail.
Okay.
I know my expectations were low on the soil there, but from what I've seen, I was kind of surprised how clean it was. Like out behind the building when they were laying the last couple of
Yeah,
sticks
we didn't find
of
what we
pipe,
thought.
and today where they were installing the sewer manhole and a couple lengths of pipe. It was nice and clean for 4 feet, and then they got down and there was some bottles and trash and stuff like that. But it was
Well, it was the dump.
right.
There was no recycling back there.
And I mean, we've done borings in and around the area where the additions are going to go, so I'm not necessarily anticipating any surprise. I just want to,
right.
It is what it is.
make sure everyone's expectations are in the right place. I'd rather you be pleasantly surprised than unpleasantly surprised.
Understand. Okay. So we have one invoice from ADS that we distributed.
Yeah, that did not make the budget update, just to be clear.
Yep.
So we'll get that updated and reissued if need be.
We have a few more as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have an ADS environmental total $11,775.45 for a myriad of different site visits, plans, and
Do you need a motion?
yes, I do.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
I had sent around all this to everybody when it came in. I don't have copies there, but everybody got it a couple of weeks ago. I've already paid the Page Building Construction, $754,836.75. They picked up the check last Thursday
Excellent.
on that one. But the other three could be approved.
So this is basically the March estimate through the end of March. Lean Carl, $18,897. Page Building, $754,836.75. Flight Alarm Corp, $268.50. And Construction Monitoring Services for $17,500. A grand total of $791,502.25.
Turn those down. And this last one is the builder's risk insurance.
Do you want to do this? We'll do this.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I apologize.
Motion to authorize payment of the invoices totaling $795
$791.
plus $791.
$791,502.25.
Got it.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second?
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's yes.
And then these all the same.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can pass those around.
So do we need to vote these, or we just sign them?
Oh, no, this is one that I paid. It's the builder's risk insurance.
Yep.
So that we could get that going right away for when the NTP was issued. So they're holding the check, just waiting for the go-ahead to go ahead and bind that. So it's $19,497, and we've got a credit back.
We're getting a credit proposal back from the
25.
contractor that'll be incorporated into change order 1 in the amount of $35,000 and change
Yep.
Oh, we
for
already
their
voted that.
BR policy.
Motion to approve builder's risk for $19,497.
I'll second that.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
So we don't have to sign this or anything?
Nope, that was just for the bills attached there, just for your.
Are these just copies for the committee?
Yep, copies.
Do you take one? You're welcome. All right, any other invoices?
Bruce, you had an invoice,
I'll
didn't
give
you?
that one back.
What's that?
You had an invoice, didn't you?
We
Yeah.
have to an
Make
email
copies
today.
of-
And some,
I have a fence
Yeah,
invoice for $6,400 and another invoice for Flight Alarm Corp. to disconnect the fire alarm to the back building. That's just for discussion. I think I talked to Scott about this. He thinks it's within the scope for Page. There was $268.50, but it's just I wanted to make sure he got paid and who was supposed to pay.
Is that different? We just approved the 268.50. This is another one?
Oh, you did?
268.50?
we have one
Give us
here,
the rest of it.
and
and it's,
then we need to find out who pays that.
number 44480.
Yeah, what's this one? That's the same invoice.
Oh, that goes with that.
Oh, it does.
That's the same one.
Yeah, 44480 is what we just approved. But the fence, and you had a comment.
Yeah,
about the
see,
fence.
Bruce, on the fence,
Yes, sir.
do we have quotes for that? Or do we just hire someone?
We have, I didn't get quotes, but we use the same fence guys that we've been using in the park. And so I didn't get 3 quotes for it. I did use the same fence guy that we've been using for other town work the last year or so.
Yeah, I believe procurement says you must have written estimates for over 10,000. Under 10, you have to use good business, sound business practices, which also, I believe, are town requirements so that we get, or attempt to get at least 3 quotes. The fact that it's a building project doesn't alleviate us from following procurement requirements, so we want to be careful we don't get caught on that. By caught, I mean doing something we shouldn't.
Plus it's under 10,000.
It is other thing. No, I get it.
But it's still encouraged to get
Under
pricing.
10, you have to follow good business practices.
Right.
And get the quotes.
So I could argue if someone said you violated the law. Well, the law says I don't have to get a written quote unless it's 10,000 or more.
Okay.
But it also says you have to do the right thing. So I'll make a motion to approve it, but it's just a cautionary. As these things come up, we want to be sure we're doing it right.
Absolutely. Does this have something to do with the
This is for temporary compost pile.
compost? Yeah.
And we've incurred, several other costs that
How big an area did we do?
I couldn't tell you the footage, but it's not even half the size of the last one.
Lengthwise, I mean.
It's probably,
Why,
you see,
you
the
do a
football
yard
field's
pile?
probably
I'm just curious.
280, so it's probably 100 feet long, maybe, by
Just curious. It sounds like a
30
lot of
feet,
work.
maybe.
Who's the company?
Well, you talking what the invoice is for?
Yeah.
The invoice is for 45 feet.
Yeah, it's not
And
that much
and
fence.
double
That's
gate.
how big of the area that we put it.
How much is it for?
We put the fence where the entranceway is with a 10-foot wide swinging gate.
Is-
And it's rugged fence.
You bought the fence, not rented?
No, I bought the fence. Yeah. This may end up being the permanent area. We don't know. We'll see when the building's done. We'll
64.
put it, but it had to be done quickly because
Yeah, and the gate's a couple grand. Easy.
yeah.
Each.
Oh,
Okay. Did you make a motion, Frank?
I did.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve the $6,400 for the fence for the leaf pile. Second.
Second.
The motion second. Any further discussion?
Got 6,400.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I don't know what you need to.
That was a copy of that. You don't need. Do you need that?
I have it in the email.
Yeah.
Will you send me a copy of that?
Yes. Did I send you? No.
I don't think
Will
so,
I?
yeah.
Can I just ask for all invoices that are gonna be charged to the project, just so that we can ensure that there's a check and that it gets entered into the budget, can they all funnel through us? And then we'll present them in one package to the committee each month?
Okay.
We'll just get on a recurring, I understand things will come up and we'll have to, make provisions, but it's gonna get really crazy trying to track expenses moving forward if they're not all coming through one
I'll take pressure off.
party to the contract.
That's
So if we can try to do that, that'd be great. Hopefully, we won't have too many more of these as we're getting.
Well, I was gonna say I don't think that I'll have any more to present as far as like temporary facilities.
Yeah.
Primary's done.
Yep,
Temporary
that's great.
detail's done. So
You'd be amazed how many times something comes up.
Oh, come on, yeah.
Guaranteed, and we know that.
No, the budget side and also that it may be owned by someone
Right.
on the project as well.
And you're looking at that, and that's to our benefit to make
Right.
sure that we're not paying something we wouldn't necessarily
Right.
be responsible for.
I think we got that.
Did you get it?
That's the builder's risk?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that.
Any new business, anyone?
I have a question. When are we gonna start knocking buildings down so people drive by and see what the hell was
So,
done?
so we have to
We're not a
provide,
gaping hole. Can we punch a hole in the front building?
we have to do a 10-day notification to the DEP to begin abatement work or anything like that inside the building. So I would say within 2 to 3 weeks' time, we should have a building on the ground. We're pretty close to it. That, I think Paige is surprised he doesn't have them lined up at the gate. But,
He said it'll take him 3 days.
yeah, it won't take long.
Because people are asking me, where's the DPW, where's the, hey, it takes time.
Well, based on the comments I saw over the weekend on Facebook, which I don't really rely on very much for anything, glad we didn't have to go back to town meeting.
As long as the leaf pile, they can use it, that's fine. That's all I ask for.
They're using the hill too, right, Bruce?
There's so much frontage you have in your place.
So I understand you have some extra, you're taking extra products
Is
in
that
the
part?
file.
yes. Yeah.
Wood and
Oh.
oil and
I don't know how
tie-ins
to
and
get into the
stuff.
leaf pile.
We had a gentleman pulling the yard. Was it last week? And he drove in his 2-wheel drive little pickup truck. Went by all the construction equipment through 2 gates and said, "Don't come in." Or, buy a load of that. They were laying water main out to the mountain, and he started to drive up to the mountain that they just built, and then he sunk.
See, karma.
He sunk.
Did you take care of that tub in my neighbor's property, Bruce?
No, yeah.
Well, don't bury him, because, don't bury the guy, because they'll find him.
Yeah.
Really?
We pushed them out.
We pushed them out. We got the offensive line.
I hope there was a tow charge included in that.
Elderly gentleman, been in Whitman for many years,
Yeah.
shouldn't be driving anymore, I would say.
I'm sure he said, I've been doing this for years.
Exactly.
Actually, what he said.
That's not a DPW
Next day, someone went around the back.
Andy was dumping bricks and rocks.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Is there anything else? Talk about the next meeting?
Oh, yes. Do we need to meet next?
So I'll ask the question, how do we get invoices approved? From, at the discretion of the committee, or is it at the discretion of Mary Beth within contracts? And change orders require authorization of the committee? How do we, all I'm trying to do is establish either a set rhythm so that everybody knows when invoices are due, and we know when committee's gonna vote, and we know that we'll have the maximum of the 21 days that we need to get the contractor paid under the statute. That the 21-day thing doesn't apply to the consultants, but it does apply to the contractor. If payment to the contractor is authorized within, or payment to all of us is authorized within current contract amounts and can be done with the approval of, one or two people of the committee, then it can be a free-for-all and we can meet whenever you all would like to, as long as bills and invoices are getting paid as we move through the progress of the work.
If I'm not mistaken, when we did the police station, Frank, didn't we have,
Chris, we met all the time.
I know it, but didn't we have like a maximum where either the chair or 3 or 4 people voted for the committee on a maximum amount, no more than X amount?
We're gonna get there. That's my next question. But let's just talk about regular invoices.
Regular monthly invoices.
I think if invoices are in line with the
Contracts.
contract and the budget, there shouldn't be a difficult process to do it. We required 3 signatures out of our committee
Right.
in order to pay invoices. And then we reviewed them at the meeting level because it was getting difficult with Claire to get those things
Yeah.
paid. So basically, we had 3 signature lines on every warrant. And as long as 3 members of the committee signed off on it, I would say it would be Mary Beth and or Kathy as a sub if you're not around.
So would you like?
This is the
Would
notes
you
from
like?
last meeting.
What are the 3 days?
Yeah, I think we talked about this.
Would you like us? Would you like us to add 3 signature lines to our cover letter, and then Mary Beth, you can have that and distribute it for signature, and then process once you get it obtained? Is that sufficient, or is there something more that's needed?
I think for regular pay recs, I think that's what we talked about, where we didn't need to meet as a committee to
Right.
approve, monthly pay estimates that, you guys have
Budget.
reviewed
Yeah.
Right.
and everything's good. It's just gonna slow down the process of
Right.
getting everybody paid. So, whether that's 1 or 3 signatures, I'll leave that to the committee.
Didn't we vote 3 members of this committee to go to the
Frank, change orders?
We established that Frank, Rick, and Dennis are the ones that could be available, and I think have been
25,000.
attending the weekly meetings.
There's your 3.
We could do the same,
Alternate.
if you guys are able to come by and, sign off, and then we can just bring them to the committee on a monthly basis or as we meet, just as for
We
record.
set up that stuff online?
That's what that was my note.
Oh, the
Yeah.
DocuSign?
Oh, that's too complicated.
No, it isn't.
It's
If
not-
I can do it, it's not complicated.
Do we really want to get involved in that? It's simpler to just have a warrant signed.
For Kevin to just authorize.
Well, these are for
And then
the,
also it'd be Frank,
should put them
Rick,
through,
Dennis,
process
and then
them,
a special meeting.
send them off, and all you do is click on it, enter your name, once you approve,
Right.
2 seconds.
I mean, how the signature happens,
Yeah,
whether it's DocuSign or,
Changes.
why can't we get DocuSign?
Yeah.
we're only using it for regular warrants now,
Right.
but,
We still have to come by the DPW at night and sign bills.
Speaking of which,
I know.
I just wanted to mention, if I could, that we're going out for the borrowing and we're closing, and the borrowing should settle by May 15th. So that's when the money will be,
Good.
not till then.
It's fine. We should still be within that million whatever threshold.
Okay,
Know what we're getting for a rate.
So,
not yet, not till we go out to market.
so is the wish of the board that we have 3 signatures on what I'll call the
Monthly bills.
monthly bills, monthly invoices? They'll obviously go through CMS, they'll review them,
They'll come in on a payment letter just like
lay them on a payment
the
letter.
committee saw.
and
I think that provides reasonable balance and
Right.
security.
Should we add Mary Beth's name to the, just for the building plan?
Well, I think it's gonna
It's gonna
come
Gonna go
to
to Mary Beth anyway.
Right, I mean for a signature, if somebody can't get it here in
Yeah,
time.
there's,
Well,
yeah.
she can be one of the 3.
Yeah,
And
right.
Obviously, it's gonna come through Mary Beth or
Yeah.
her office, so, so there's one signature and, I guess, Rick, Dennis, and Frank, I think, between
Yeah,
the 3 of you,
200,
whether
yeah.
you guys wanna go DocuSign, I'll leave that to you guys.
Okay.
So that'll be the monthly. And I think change orders, we had a value, and I forget what the value
Up to
was.
25 grand?
25.
25 grand.
Is that the same 3 signatures? Or 2 of the 3?
I think at the committee
I
meeting,
thought we
said-
left that at Mary Beth's discretion for the 25.
I think that was at my discretion.
Oh, yours, okay.
My discretion 25, and anything over 25 would be brought to the committee.
Okay.
So that's what I remember.
Okay.
Yeah, the alternates for you would be Frank, Rick, and Dennis, and then a special meeting would be held for any PCOs over 25,000.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, like I said, all the times we talked about, attending weekly or bi-weekly job meetings that are happening, or something needs to be looked at.
Okay.
More time than
And
that,
then anything subject to contract unit prices, we're delegated to confirm quantities in the field, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, and agree with the contractor. And
Yep.
I guess that would reflect through when they pay us.
No, we really get into it, statement of values and all that fun
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. I think we have that already.
Okay. So I guess
What's on the ground?
we want to push out a little bit.
Calendar? Oh, we got a calendar.
Yeah, I don't think we need to meet weekly or bi-weekly.
6
If
weeks.
something's going on.
May 13?
Do you want to make it like the second Monday of every month?
That's right.
And that
Yeah.
way we can project it out.
I think that's a good
I
idea.
think we
Maybe some recurring.
we missed. Yeah, the second Monday works for me. Typically.
It's good for you.
Alright, so we'll do May 13th. So we'll do the second Monday of the month, 5 o'clock.
I just sent those minutes out to everybody, so if I have.
It's June 15th. So the 17th. Should be fine. July will be the 8th, so that will
Wait to see
reflect.
what's that. Turn things down.
Let's see, our
You
next
and me both.
meeting.
Guess that doesn't mean we won't have the building down for town meeting. That's only 2 weeks.
Labor Day will be early. It's the 2nd this year.
So is there,
Well, I think we want to skip the next one since it's going to be town meeting night.
Oh, great.
No, the 13th is town meeting, right? 6th is town meeting?
Oh, 13.
yeah, we're meeting on the 13th, the town meeting's the 6th.
Second Monday.
Second Monday.
Second Monday of the month, 5 o'clock.
Okay. Second Monday.
So I think that should get us clear until November. Veterans Day is the 11th. That's the second Monday, so that'll get us down the road a bit. Okay.
Rick, you had a question?
I was just gonna request that maybe with the recording secretary, we could get an agenda printed for the meeting. Perhaps previous minutes. It's just better if we have printed copies available. I know not everybody likes paper, but I do.
As Rick holds his calendar.
Yeah. So, for those who don't know what this is. And the highlights in yellow, just so you know, are hunting trips, and blue are fly fishing trips.
You know, I used to keep my schedule on a
Love
pocket
it.
calendar.
Yeah, same thing.
Every day.
Tiny
And
little
I'm
blocks.
tired.
and
I
you
get
write all kinds
a
of things.
really big calendar.
I need
I
this
came
to
across one of them.
Still have the big one on the wall. From the vendors.
2000,
Thank you in
no,
advance.
1998.
No, next meeting. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Anything else? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.